This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. A new chapter awaits the Royal Bahamas Defense Force as Commodore Raymond King, who has led the organization for the past 5 years, bids farewell and makes way for his successor, Captain Floyd Moxey. Join the ZNS Network on Thursday, May 8th at 9:30 a.m. for live coverage of the change of command ceremony of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Be sure to tune into a special edition of The Rundown live tonight from Grand Bahama. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. The nation's leader returns from Washington, D.C. and expounds on his high-level meetings with U.S. officials on the economy and other key issues facing the Bahamas. Also, notwithstanding the Free National Movement excluding former Prime Minister Dr. Minnis from an F&M nomination in the next general election, the Killarney MP says he looks forward to representing his constituents. And when catastrophe strikes, losses are compounded when they cannot be recouped due to a lack of insurance. Tonight, we look at a cost-benefit analysis of fire insurance with a leading executive. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis today returning from his high-level visit to Washington, D.C., where he met U.S. officials, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Among the key topics discussed, national security, economic resilience, and health care stability. Devontae Hanna leads us off tonight at 11 on what this trip could mean for the Bahamas. Devontae.
Yeah, well, Royson, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is back in country following that meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and, of course, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on several issues along with his regional counterparts. Now, one of the key issues that came up, we understand from the Prime Minister, is that the United States has a heightened concern over China's involvement in the region.
And they believe that an influence is more than just being what I call infrastructural partners. They think it has something to do with, breaching, privacy and setting up other security matters that will serve China's interests.
But Prime Minister Davis says the issue of heightened tension between the U.S. and China is not new, much like the contentious one of Cuban nurses in the region, which he says was brought up in discussions. It follows a threat to revoke visas of regional leaders by the U.S. if found that countries are involved in what they believe is an illegal workforce scheme.
We were able to say to them, and I think they were satisfied, that we are not engaged in forced labor that we are aware of. So if forced labor is occurring in our country with the Cubans, there's no evidence that we have come across.
That brought up the point of the Bahamas' declining nursing numbers due to accelerated recruitment by the U.S. and Canada, leaving a strain on the Bahamian healthcare system.
They recognize the pressure we are under, and they expressed a willingness to explore responsible frameworks for discussion and cooperation on healthcare labor.
On the economic front, the nation's leader says in his discussions with Secretary Bessent, he pushed for fairness in the global financial system. He warned that even as the Bahamas meets international compliance standards, blacklisting and de-risking practices continue to shut small nations out.
So we made it clear in Washington, the Bahamas wants to work with the United States to build a global financial system that is fair, risk-sensitive, and responsive.
From gun control and economic reform to healthcare and digital innovation, Prime Minister Davis says the Bahamas wants to send one message and make it abundantly clear that it is a leader and not a follower. He said that he also discussed boosting Bahamian opportunities at the Otak Naval Base, and he pressed for deeper U.S. engagement on the crisis in Haiti, calling current efforts not enough. Royston, back to you.
Thank you very much, Devante. Bahamas embassy officials in Washington, D.C. did most of the groundwork to prepare for the Prime Minister's meeting with U.S. cabinet members this week. Bahamas ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Wendell Jones, underscored the vital diplomatic relationship shared between the Bahamas and the U.S., and he credits the alliance for branding the Prime Minister's trip as a tremendous success. He went on to say that the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, both of whom have close ties to the Bahamas, according to the ambassador, were pleased with the meeting's outcome.
We are very happy to have seen the level of cooperation and support that the Department of State, as well as the U.S. Treasury Department, gave to the staff of the Bahamas Embassy here in Washington. And it underscores the high regard that the Bahamas enjoys in the United States, and the extent to which the American officials would go to accommodate us in that relationship and to make things smooth whenever we have visiting officials from the Bahamas.
The U.S. State Department issuing a statement of their own, announcing that Secretary of State Marco Rubio's meetings with the heads of government from the Eastern Caribbean and the Bahamas underscored the urgent need for enhanced regional cooperation to combat drug and firearms trafficking, as well as illegal migration, considered key drivers of violence and instability. Secretary Rubio encouraged Caribbean leaders to strengthen intelligence sharing, security cooperation, and border security through programs like the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative. Secretary Rubio reaffirmed the U.S. government's commitment to holding accountable Cuban regime officials, foreign government officials, and those involved in facilitating the regime's forced labor scheme, including Cuba's medical missions. And with hurricane season less than 1 month away, Secretary Rubio announced the reactivation of 2 U.S.-administered programs to strengthen early warning systems and provide rapid life-saving assistance across the Caribbean. A historic move for the decades-old Department of Meteorology following the signing of a multi-million-dollar heads-of agreement, ultimately aimed at enhancing safety for airlines and its customers and expanding revenue streams for the government. Here's Director of Meteorology, Jeffrey Simmons.
The partnership between the government of the Bahamas and Baxman is a major step forward for our nation, and the heads of agreement that will be signed outlines a clear operational framework that will not only meet the demands for meteorological products for aircrafts in our airspace, but will also enhance the operations of the Department of Meteorology. It is important to note that the agreement with Baxman will not replace or diminish the valuable work of the Department of Meteorology. Our mission to deliver accurate and timely meteorological and climatological services, empowering stakeholders and the public to make informed decisions to safeguard lives, protect property, and advance research and education in the Bahamas will continue.
Echoing those sentiments was Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, who went further to explain why today's HOA signing is such a major step forward.
The new watch office, alongside Baxman's advanced weather and flight tracking technologies, will allow the Bahamas to monitor atmospheric and aviation conditions in real time across every part of our archipelago. It will place us among the most capable meteorologically jurisdictions in the region. But this is about more than new equipment or modern tools. It is about transforming a critical public institution, the Department of Meteorology, into one that is not only more effective, but more financially sustainable, one that continues to serve the public interest while opening the door to new partnerships, revenue streams, and regional leadership. And crucially, it is about investing in our people. This agreement includes the provision of at least 10 scholarships per annum.
Former Prime Minister and F&M leader Dr. Humane Minnis, the current Killarney MP, today ended on a cliffhanger about his future in frontline politics, though he still left some uncertainty about whether that future is with the F&M. Last month, F&M leader Michael Pintard announced that the former Prime Minister would not be getting the party's nomination in the upcoming general election, and he invited Dr. Minnis to take on other responsibilities within the organization, promising him an elder statesman role in the next F&M administration. Dr. Minnis at the time did not respond to that offer, but today in the House of Assembly, he offered this insight about his political future.
I come to this place every meeting as a member of the Free National Movement. Amen. On behalf of the people of Killarney, who I have represented for nearly 2 decades. They have shown me tremendous support all these years. I remain grateful for this support. My job in this place is to give voice to them for better governance for our nation as a whole. It is a pleasure to be their representative in this place, and I look forward to continuing this representation.
The Deputy Premier of the Turks and Caicos Islands leaves the Bahamas tomorrow after successful meetings with the government and members of the TCI diaspora. The Honourable Jamel Robinson also holds the cabinet portfolio of Minister of Immigration and Border Services, Regional Affairs and Labour. On last night's edition of The Rundown with Clint Watson here on the ZNS News Network, he explained the purpose of his visit here.
I would have came to the Bahamas specifically to meet with Honorable Fred Mitchell, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So he's the point person that we liaise with for CARICOM because we are associate members of CARICOM. Correct. So the Bahamas is the point person for all the other overseas territories that are associated members. So I kind of came here to get a proper briefing to know the ins and outs of what's taking place in CARICOM, because we have a meeting, joint meeting on July 1st of this year. In addition to that, we are also taking on protocol in the Ministry of Immigration and Border Services. So we had an opportunity to meet with the Chief Protocol Officer, Mr. Archer, for a meeting as well. So that was very informative. So we're going to see how we can utilize the skill sets that are in the Bahamas in their protocol sector to see how we can build that in the Turks and Caicos, because as persons know, Bahamas has the best protocol offerings in the region, if not the world.
Robinson represents the governing People's National Party that won a landslide election victory this past February, securing 16 of the 19 seats in the Turks and Caicos Parliament. The TCI government has an ambitious agenda to fulfill in its second 5-year term, and an important component is to ensure Turks and Caicos Islanders maintain life balance.
We have to ensure that we have opportunities for Turks and Caicos Islanders to be workers as well as entrepreneurs, business owners, and have opportunities to have upward mobility within the job market itself. So that's the thing that we ensure, because again, with all of our great mandate that we have, wanting to get to $1 billion worth of revenue year on year in terms of the government side of things and have a greater robust economy, we must continue to grow. But in that growth, we have to make sure that no Turks and Caicos Islanders are left behind.
Still to come, meet the newest corrections recruits. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
National Security Minister the Honorable Wayne Monroe inspected the newest squad of officers at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. He confirmed this newest group of 54 men from across the country will be well equipped to assist the future of BDOCs and other areas of national importance, as their 5 months of training as recruits will include cross-training in a number of areas.
Cross-training is important for a number of reasons. First, to prepare them for the work in the facility. So you've heard Commissioner Clare said they would cross-train with the fire squad. They'll be available if there's ever something that's sufficiently catastrophic to require all hands on deck. Then this will be a group of people who will be available, specifically trained, as you would have heard, for fires. But clearly there can be a fire in the facility, and so they will be able to address that if that happens. Immigration has a screening task, and we end up with immigrants in this facility, and so they will be able to address that. If there's ever any crisis that requires fill-in for immigration officers, those who are cross-trained will be able to do that.
Losing a home or business in a fire is a heartbreaking scenario for anyone. But when there's no insurance to cover that loss, the heartbreak becomes a catastrophe for the home or business owner. Desmond Saunders speaks with a leading business executive who provides an insightful perspective on risk or fire insurance.
It's a known fact, but a sad reality. A quarter of local businesses do not possess risk insurance, and at least half without proper adequate coverage. A troubling trend and major concern for President of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce Employees Confederation, Dr. Leo Rowe.
While rates have been stagnant for a while, they will rise, and they will rise because of inflation, because of pressures, because of an adverse claim history, and so all of these things go into effect. But imagine not having it at all and having to replace your entire building on your own.
The recent fires that destroyed several businesses on East Bay Street brings to light the significant risk fires pose to local businesses. President of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce Employees Confederation advising employees to now implement mitigation strategies to protect against any disasters.
And so having a comprehensive business continuity plan helps, because you know from hour one what's the next step. You need to have a business continuity team. And so a list of persons that says this person deals with this, that person deals with that, and here's what we do in the eventuality. That crisis management team is important because each person knows their role, each person understands their role, and each person knows that in the event of a unforeseen circumstance, I spring into action and I get this part of my job done.
And while risk or fire insurance is a strong defense against property damage, a clean, clear crisis management plan also helps to minimize damage and facilitate a smoother recovery for businesses. Well, in the coming weeks, Roll's organization will launch its national education campaign to highlight the importance of fire risk management. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks, Desmond. The Bahamas Humane Society's dedicated team ventured into the world of art this past weekend by unveiling a stunning mural that not only beautifies the local landscape, but also carries a deeper message that all animals, too, need love and care. The mural is designed to raise awareness about the importance of pet adoption. Bahamas Humane Society officials hope to inspire members of the community to open their hearts and their homes to a new furry friend. And the mural is also aimed at creating a lasting visual effect that speaks to the importance of compassion and kindness when dealing with animals.
Well, first, there's adopting and fostering. Those are the two main ones, and those are the ones that we try to advocate and ask for the most, because the shelter has over 600 animals. So it's really important that we get the animals out of the shelter. Fostering is an amazing program. It helps to socialize the animals, teach them to be in a home, and then prepares them for actual adoption. Outside of that, they have a dog walking program that happens every Wednesday and Saturday that just helps, again, to get the animals outside of their kennels, teach them how to walk on a leash. It socializes them, and again,
Volunteer Micaiah Boswick believes the mural could serve as a powerful reminder for the community to embrace love and empathy towards animals, while also inspiring a shift on the importance of animal welfare.
I feel it's a positive experience for kids and all volunteers. I think that making the Humane Society a colorful, a colorful place brings the attraction of outsiders, and then maybe they'll venture inside to see what animals are ready to be adopted.
Majel Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Majel?
Find out who's ahead after 2 days of competition at the Frank Pancho Ramming Primary School Track Nationals. He does with that story and more coming up in sports.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new
And dreams become your life.
This is my child.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
Summer in the Bahamas. The weather is hot, but not as hot as the ZNS summer packages. Get ads on ZNS TV or ZNS Radio Network or the TV community page, or a combination of all three. ZNS has got you covered with great prices, whatever package you choose. Book before June 7th and get the local Federation Championship Baseball bonus full of all kinds of extras free of charge. Contact your account executive or call ZNS Sales at 502-3800 today. Hot summer package rates valid until July 31st.
Welcome to Wednesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Majel Knowles, topping sports with 2 days of competition already in the books at the Frank Pancho Ramming Primary School Track Nationals. We take a look at which school is in front heading into the final day. Here's our intern, Swanson Gibson Jr.
Primary schoolers from the Family Islands and New Providence continue to put on competitive performances on day 2 of the Pancho Ramming Nationals. As the final day draws near, the leaders in the overall standings look to separate themselves from the pack and claim the national championship. The results were up to press time. In 5th position with 35 points are the Roselda M. Woodside Eagles. In 4th are the Lewis Yard Eagles with 52 points. Slightly ahead of them in 3rd are the Thelma Gibson Talons with 55 points. In 2nd are the defending champions, the Cleveland Aeneas Eagles, with 79 points. And the front-runners are the Temple Christian Sons with 122 points, leaving a sizable gap between their competitors. ZNS Total Sports caught up with Sons coach Sharon Francis to discuss TC's athletic program.
Temple Christian, we have a really good, strong program at the school. We train all year. We participate in all the local track meets. So our kids are not just selected at this time to compete. We come here prepared. That's why you see such great performance for the Temple Christian School. We told them that Temple Christian is the school to beat. We have won this event many times, many years, and so everybody knows that when we come, we're coming strong. So we encourage our athletes to be positive, come out here confident, because persons are looking forward to beating us, and so we just go there and execute the game plan that we give them, and that's what they do.
The Frank Pancho Ramming Championships concludes Thursday at 1:25 p.m. The finals for individual races, relays, and field events are set to occur throughout the day. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
Still on track from this weekend, Stephen Gardner competing at the Grand Slam Track Series, the Anson Sports Complex in Miramar, Florida. The women's national record holder in the men's 200 and 400 meters, running in those events on the second stop of the Grand Slam mini tour known as the Miami Slam. Gardner would finish 4th in the 200 meters in his season's best time of 20.76. Unfortunately, would pull up in the 400-meter event, which would ultimately be won by Dream Richards. Gardner speaking post-race.
It's good to be back. A few years, I had a few injuries and it was a downer, but now I have a great medical team and everybody who watches over me, so I think I'm in good hands right now. So it's just a good feeling to be back on the circuit and competing. Yeah, I feel good about it. It shows that I still can compete and I still have my speed. So I just need to get a few more races in and just get into more shape. I feel as when I compete, I get in better shape as the meets goes by.
From the NBA playoffs, it seemed as though Buddy Hield has picked up the mantle that fellow Bahamian Klay Thompson left for the Golden State Warriors. And while they may refer to him as a splash cousin, Buddy Buckets has continued to emerge as a strong piece for the Warriors in their postseason run. Last night in their opening game of the second-round series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Buddy would lead the team in scoring with 24 points as the Warriors would roll to a 99-88 win without superstar Stephen Curry. Buddy going 5 of 8 from behind the arc and would finish with a plus-minus rating of +22 in 40 minutes played. And of course, Buddy and his new best friend Jimmy Butler have captivated the media this entire postseason. The pair with a lighthearted exchange post-game trying to explain Buddy's wardrobe malfunction early in the first quarter.
Jimmy switched it out. It was Jimmy's fault. Okay. Jimmy switched it out, and that's what happens. I was looking for my shorts, and I thought it was the right one. He said, yo, put these on. It was the right, and that was the... That's what you're going with? Yeah, I'm going with Jimmy. It was Jimmy's fault. His locker's next to my locker. I was looking for my shorts. He said, yo, why can't I have my shorts? Oh, I see there. And I put them on, and it looked just alike, and after that, got a fine for it. So it's cool. It was Jimmy's fault. Blame Jimmy.
Jim, I mean, obviously, you know there's always so much responsibility on you, but when you see Steph go down...
Responsibility in the shorts, too. Like I'm telling you, a lot of responsibility on him. He's not doing his job.
And from the MLB, Jazz Chisholm officially sidelined. Yankees announced that the infielder is headed to the 10-day injured list due to a right oblique strain after exiting last week's contest against the Rays. Jazz speaking to the media about the diagnosis.
I mean, I'm very surprised, just depending on how my body feels and how I feel personally. This is the second time I've had an oblique, so this feels completely different from the first one. So for me, I was super surprised when I saw the results.
That's when we look at your sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Did you know you could send a local bank transfer to a $1 wallet? It's the same as sending a transfer to an account at another local bank. Simply use the wallet's 12-digit top-up address as the account number, savings as the account type, Central Bank of the Bahamas as the bank, and $1 as the branch with branch code or transit number 12,000. Don't use urgent or priority delivery. Transfers to $1 wallets are processed through the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse Network within 1 business day.
All the action on the ZNS Network on Tuesday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. and on Thursday at 12:30 p.m. It's the Frank Pancho Ramming National Primary Schools Track and Field Championship, May 6th through 8th, right here on the ZNS Network.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royce. And the dry conditions continue as our rain gauges remain empty. But looking at our computer models, they suggest that early next week we could possibly have some showers work its way into our forecast. But until then, we'll have to contain with these dry conditions. Now, your temperatures around the islands this evening, 76 degrees in Marshall, Babaco, Green, Tulkey, and Freeport, Grand Bahama at 77. 78 degrees in the Berry Islands, Alassane, Bimini, 1 degree up at 79 degrees, 77 at Fresh Creek, Central Island. Andros. Kemp Space at Andros, Black Point Exuma as well. Roxanne Eleuthera 76, 78 degrees in Otterstown, Cadalum. Also in San Salvador and Rumkey, Georgetown Exuma as well, reporting 78 degrees. More 78s in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matutani, Nagua tonight, 81 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. Satellite pictures are showing some showers and thunderstorms over the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and that's working its way towards the south. And this is the system that could bring some showers to the northwest Bahamas early next week. So we'll keep our eyes on that system and see how it unfolds. But until then, we will continue to see these clear skies during the nighttime, but an abundance of sunshine during the daytime over the next couple of days. Clear and partly cloudy tonight with a low temperature of 73 degrees tomorrow. Partly sunny, a bit on the comfortable side with your high temperature getting up to 83 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, we will see summer-like temperatures as we head into the weekend. Temperatures peaking at about 86 degrees on Saturday. And then as we head into early next week, looking at 88 degrees on Tuesday. And with the relative humidity in the mix, it's going to feel a lot warmer than that, so it'll feel more as though it's in the 90s. So some very, very uncomfortable days ahead of us. But the nighttime temperatures, they continue to reside in the low 70s, but we'll start to get you back into the mid 70s as we head into the weekend and the early part of next week. Royston.
Basil, that's going to do it for the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Tonic Williams Darling Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.